have to talk about Hong Kong property. It's an obsession for a lot of residents here in the city. In fact, Hong Kong has the two biggest listed property developers in the world by market cap, and that's Sun Hung Kai. We call it Sun Hung Gay here in Hong Kong. Also, Cheung Kong Holdings, of course, which is owned by Hong Kong Superman Li Ka-shing. And why are these two some of the biggest realtors in the world? Well, that's thanks in part to surging prices, which the Hong Kong government is trying to rein in these days. Paul Gordon has more, and in fact, the latest attempts are quite interesting. They're trying to rein in marketing schemes as well.
That's right. I mean, anybody who travels around apartments in Hong Kong, if they've come from the West or pretty much anywhere in the world, says, good grief, you don't get much for your square foot, do you? And this is the problem here in Hong Kong. So when it comes to actually buying a new apartment in Hong Kong, the property developers go to great lengths to make it look as if you are getting a lot for your money. And the government says enough is enough.
The billboard for this Hong Kong construction project suggests the luxury apartments are surrounded by open space. The reality is somewhat different. The website for Cheung Kong Holdings, Le Prestige, shows a glistening waterfront building many times higher than anything nearby. At the show flat for Sun and K's Area project, models of the building, alone on a mountainside, were all we were able to film. Cameras are barred from the apartment. Inside, though, marketing methods giving the appearance of space and quality. Most of the internal walls and doors were removed, beds were shorter and wardrobes narrower than standard, mirrors were installed throughout, and some materials were higher quality than the finished apartments will have. You can get a mortgage in Hong Kong for close to 1%, thanks to the territory's peg to the US dollar. Add to that a surging Chinese economy just across the border, and you have a recipe for a hot property market where developers aren't always completely open about what they're selling.
Developers have been very creative in setting up very creative show flats. And there have been concern from members of the public that many of the show flats, well, they may not accurately and clearly reflect the actual situations of the flats which are being handed over.
So, starting today, developers face new rules on marketing. They must provide at least one model apartment with the layout, materials and other facilities exactly as when the homes are ready. Cheung Kong Holdings, controlled by Hong Kong's richest man Li Ka-shing and run by his son, says the rules make little difference.
All I know is that some of my show flats continue to be open. We didn't make any changes, and somehow they already comply with the contemplated new rules.
And he may be right. Hong Kong home prices are up 39% since the start of last year. Unrealistic show flats or not, the buyers keep coming.
And indeed they do, Susan. That is the issue. Prices have been surging. People line up to view these show flats. When you go in, they look absolutely enormous. The doors are missing, the walls are missing. There are floor-to-ceiling mirrors everywhere. The beds are 5 feet long. But people still buying. At this project we went to at Sun and K's Area, people were still signing on the dotted line. And these brochures, these enormous brochures, you saw it in the package there as well, are one of the ways to lure people in. So will the government's moves to change this have any impact? Remains to be seen. But so far, the developers don't seem particularly worried.
Yeah, now we have 12 new rules being implemented today. Is that right?
There are 12 in total, but it really boils down to this. Show a show flat the way it appears in the finished building.
And how it actually is.
Yes.
Okay, Paul, thank you for that. There we have the Hong Kong government trying to clamp down on the property developers in terms of showcasing, shall we say.